Benvenuti a un nuovo appuntamento con 5 domande A, una serie di videointerviste per conoscere meglio gli artisti aderenti al progetto benefico ARS, Artisti in Rete Solidale, e per fare con loro il punto sull'arte e sul mondo che verrà dopo la pandemia. Io sono Chiara Calpini e oggi sono in compagnia di Caro Pepe, che saluto. Ciao Caro.
Ciao Chiara.
Ciao, nice to have you here. Caro Pepe è un'artista e una muralista argentina con base a Berlino. Dopo aver lavorato molti anni nella pubblicità come art director, decide di rivoluzionare la sua carriera e nel 2012 si trasferisce a Berlino per iniziare a lavorare unicamente come pittrice. Da allora gira il mondo dipingendo muri e esponendo le sue opere in quasi tutti i continenti. Il suo tratto distintivo possiamo chiamarlo quasi un marchio di fabbrica, sono questi ritratti di donne con un solo grande occhio, che alludono alla parzialità della visione, ovvero ciò che una persona sceglie di vedere e poi va a definire la realtà che vive. E attraverso questi volti enigmatici e non a caso femminili, vorrei aggiungere, l'artista esplora il mondo interiore e il valore delle emozioni proprio nella costruzione della realtà che ci circonda. Caro, I just said a little bit about your biography, and maybe you understood something because I know you Spanish and a little bit Italian.
Yes.
If you are ready, I will start with the first question.
Yes.
Okay?
Let's go for it.
Okay, fantastic. I would like to ask you if is there a motto that represents you artistically, and what this motto tells more about you?
Right. Well, a little bit like you said in your introduction, right? I would say artistically, my motto is reality is a perception, right? When it comes to what it says about me, I don't know if I was born like this or raised like this, but from very early in my life, I discovered I didn't want it to be a victim of my circumstances. I didn't want to be in any sort of victim in my own story, right? So when I say reality is a perception and why I paint like I paint, is like, okay, like you have a set of circumstances presented to you in life, and you can either grab them and make something out of it or just sit in the corner and cry, So sometimes what happens around is not so good, and it's still a perception the way you grab what's happening around and what you do with it, right? So basically, I think all of my messages in my paintings, and when I say I only painted with one eye because of this sided view of reality, with just taking one part of it or editing reality, right? It's saying this. It's like I shape my own reality, or like I grab what is there and I do something with it, right? And it comes from this feeling of not let the circumstances guide my own life, right? I think this is a little bit, I don't know if I was clear, but
absolutely, yes.
Okay.
So can you tell us more about the artwork you donated to ours, which is of course a woman with one eye?
Yes. So the artwork, this was I started working with watercolors recently, and this is one of my latest artworks. So it's a female character, and what it's having, like, it's in red, so in the color red, so it has this powerful thing going on. And what I wanted to, she appears a little bit, how to put it, sweet or quiet, no, in the portrait. She appears calm in a way, but then she's like surrounded by this abstract, not so abstract, but I don't know, kind of figurative, kind of abstract line that ends up a dragon, you know? So what I wanted to express was like this power within, you know, maybe it was also very particular, like a very personal portrait, if you want to, like, through what was going on in my life at the moment. And, you know, when you need to take power out of the last corner of your body to keep on, I don't know, like living or doing stuff or overcoming obstacles, you know. And so it's a little bit about the power within, in the last corner, you take this dragon out and to make it, no?
Oh, thank you very much. It's beautiful. I really like it.
No, thank you.
And can you tell us something more about how did you pass through the pandemic and the lockdown? How was it artistically and from a personal point of view?
Yeah, so artistically, or so from my own personal, I don't know, emotional sphere, right? I will let outside the health issues or the what's in general, no? What happened to me was in the beginning. First, I was very skeptic, no? I was like, no, you know, when we started hearing about what was happening in China, I heard one of two people here in Berlin saying, hey, I'm a little bit worried. And I was like a little bit skeptic, no? Saying like, no, you know, it's going to be okay. Maybe it's just one more of these things that we first get all freaked out and then nothing happened. Then when we were actually having it in our noses, right, already, and things started happening, and when they decided we were to be in lockdown, I was confused. I was, I mean, to be honest, in the beginning, no, I was afraid. And of course, I developed all sort of scenarios in my mind. I think too many movies, probably, you know. But then after a while, I think maybe in the development of this lockdown, and I also felt something artistically in the beginning, like there was no sense in keep on creating. You know, it felt a little bit, it felt sad to me, right? Like, what should I paint? What should I do what I'm doing? You know, like, it felt like it had no point. It was pointless. And this was probably the first weeks, right? And after a while, maybe within getting to read more, to be more informed, or like, you know, to trust a little bit that with this lockdown, we were actually going to overcome this situation, I started enjoying the silence, you know, like this, all of the sudden, this rush that we were living in stopped, you know, and it was silence, and I started enjoying this silence, and I felt it was really nice to paint within the silence, you know, like just to have more conversations with myself, or like to do a lot of introspection in my work time. I don't know, it felt kind of good for creation, you know. And I don't know if
you
it
enjoy
all
it.
came back to me. Yeah.
You enjoy it. And something came out of you, something new, some new idea?
Yes, I felt like I had a lot of things I wanted to do. You know, it's like, as I said, when everything got quiet, it's like my self style, like being more effervescent, like bubbling, you know, like, "Ooh, I want to do this, I want to do that," and all of a sudden I had so many ideas, you know. And that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about my own emotional process and creational process in this. I'm aware that there's a lot of people having a really hard time outside. I don't want to be selfish, but we're just talking about this creation part and process, right? So on that, I have to say, enjoy that silence.
Yeah.
And now we're slowly going out again, no? So it's like slowly going back to something similar to what we
Yeah.
had before.
Mm. And so, how do you imagine the future after all this? Or maybe how would you like to be the future?
Well, usually I try not to imagine the future like in general terms so much, because I try to work on what I can control, no? But if I need to figure like more like a wish than, well, then I don't know, like a futuristic forecast, I would I would like us to keep some of this slow down rhythm, you know? If we manage to keep this, because in the end, you know, like you also spend more time with your family, or like, you know, talking to friends that we probably haven't been talking about, even like with, you know, FaceTime, Zoom, all these kind of things. And this I would like for it to be still around, you know, a little bit of, hey, let's take it down a notch with the speed we were living and keep this quiet. I don't know if it's going to be like that. Probably not. but I would like that to happen. And as for the future, there are so many theories going around, and what I fear the most is that we might lose a little bit of freedom in order to be healthy, or I don't know, not to hurt other ones, or that we might lose a little bit of freedom. And this is my biggest fear.
Okay. And talking about artists, this is our fifth question.
Yeah.
What kind of role they can have in this period?
Well, I also notice myself, for instance, like my own experience, you know, I went to every discipline, you know, if I like literature, movies, or painting, you know, I went to art for shelter. I went in this time, you know, I to art for, yes, sometimes I discover myself looking at things and having these emotions around it, you know, and sometimes it was calming me down, sometimes it was creating me a new, giving me a new idea, you know, but I recognized it was the shelter. All all sort of artistic disciplines were the shelter for me in these surreal times. So I think a little bit our role as artists is on the contrary of, on the opposite side of what I felt in the beginning, like it's pointless to create, no? In the beginning of all this lockdown. On the opposite side, I think this is the moment where everyone, society needs more and more an artistic expression as for shelter of a surreal reality, you know? Even if it's to make you think or to provoke your thoughts or ideas, or just to calm down, you know? A good book, a good movie, a good painting, a good artistic talk, you know, this, I think it comes down, you know?
Yeah.
So
That's
I would say,
very important.
yeah, that's my opinion. Like that probably would be our role as artists. As also as artists, I think we sometimes have a little extra sensitivity, yeah.
Absolutely.
So you can feel the pulse and put it into something, you know, and whatever sort of manifestation. And this is also very empathic, you know, that people can relate when you do this, and so you don't feel so lonely, no, in whatever you feel. And I think a little bit this is our role these days,
Yeah.
at least.
And your women with one eye will be traveling the world again.
Hopefully. Well, so far the artworks are traveling the world around without me, but hopefully I can go with them, no, in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hope for that. So thank you very much for being here and for the interview. If you want to add something, you are welcome.
Well, I think I pretty much cover my whole range of my thoughts at the moment. I would just just like to think to drop just like one last message of hope, you know, that we will find ourselves again, and hopefully everything it would be back to something better than before.
Okay. Thank you very much for your message, Caro.
Thank you, Chiara. Thank you
pleasure.
for this interview.
See you in ours. Okay.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.